little bit about me. My name's Dustin Perry. I grew up in Vancouver, right across English Bay, went to UBC, studied geology there, and for my entire career, I've been looking for copper gold porphyries in BC. In 2019, I founded this company. We stayed private for a couple years, listed in 2021. I will be making forward-looking statements, so please take a look at our disclosure. Building Kingfisher, there was always the goal to build an elite discovery platform positioned for the bull market whenever it came, and finally it's here. You think it's bad being an investor in bear markets in this industry? Try being a geologist. It's been pretty rough, but we've learned how to do things efficiently and systematically, and that's a big thing we take pride in. We have a very disciplined approach. We have systematically consolidated the largest tenure position of any junior in the Golden Triangle. Right now, we're over 1,100 square kilometers in the Golden Triangle, which puts us fourth amongst any company in both the Golden Triangle and the Toodoggone. So pretty enviable position in a bull market. But we've also built an incredible team. So we have a group of highly respected geologists, some that were involved with GT Gold, the former CEO of the Tahltan Nation Development Corporation, former chairman of GT Gold, who was a Glencore founder. So that's a little bit about us. Yesterday, what we've been doing came true, and we made the second ever blind porphyry discovery in the Golden Triangle. The first was GT Gold's. So we've been trying to replicate GT Gold, and I feel like we're well on our way. That first blind discovery sold to Newmont for $465 million within 3 years of the discovery. So with that in mind, I'm going to talk about the Golden Triangle. So the Golden Triangle is, without a doubt, one of the most fertile copper gold belts on Earth. It hosts hundreds of millions of ounces of gold, hundreds of million, or over 1 billion ounces of silver, over 100 billion pounds of copper. So it's an incredible area. Incredible deposits like KSM, the world's largest undeveloped gold deposit, Red Chris, Galore Creek, Brucejack. But despite that pedigree, we believe it is significantly underexplored. Fragmented ownership, we've solved that in one part of the Golden Triangle. Complex geology and historically limited access means that a lot of the most prospective deposits are likely yet to be found. So that environment, the things I just listed is exactly where what we've done is going to pay off, and it gives us an edge, having tied up all this ground, having built an incredible team, and being ready for a bull market. I'll note that we're entirely within Tahltan territory, where there is a long-standing history of understanding mineral exploration. I would say they're probably one of the more adept at it in Canada. Incredibly successful business people. So with that in mind, though, not everywhere in the Golden Triangle is equal, and we named Highway 37 that name. It's a collection of a bunch of projects, but the highway and the power line pass through the eastern part of the project. Project stretches about 50 kilometers right up to close to Galore Creek and Shaft. But luckily, our main focus and our main area of interest right now, and where we've just made a brand new discovery, lies 10 kilometers from the highway. And you can actually see Mary from that one image there. You can see the Gossans, and you can see a different porphyry that has 290 meters of 0.7 gold equivalent from surface, just 10K from highway and power. So super unusual. I've touched on us. I've touched on where we're located, but the big question is, what is the opportunity? And keep in mind, this is just our Highway 37 project. So this is a over 900 square kilometer project. We're focused in what is an emerging district, the Hank to Mary district. So that's, without a doubt, the largest geochemical anomaly for copper and gold held in an actual junior, not a development co, in the Golden Triangle. We've tied it all up by consolidating it, but it's also one of multiple district scale anomalies. A lot of these anomalies wouldn't actually fit within, say, a company's project in Nevada. This is big country. So to unlock this potential, we've built an incredible team, lots of experience with discoveries in the region. Our chief geo did her master's on KSM, worked for Seabridge for almost a decade. People involved with Brucejack. We recently brought Tyler Caswell over from Northwest Copper. Stephanie is another incredible geologist working for us. This is probably my biggest point of pride, the team we built. It would be very difficult to build a team like this in a market like what we're into now. So let's talk about where we're focused. So the Hank Mary district, and I am calling it a district because it is a district. There's multiple porphyries, there's an epithermal system. It's really just one big mineral system. It's not one zone, it's not one anomaly, it's a giant system that is proven with drilling. So there's multiple drilled porphyries. Williams is one we were partially focused on last year, and last week we put out an intercept of 900 meters of 0.5% copper from surface. But what we've really been interested all along here is the other side of the valley across from Williams, where you have a large epithermal system that was drilled in the 1980s at very shallow depths. So Lac Minerals was there in the 1980s, and progressed it quite a ways, but they never looked for a porphyry. They didn't even really assay for copper in most of their drilling. Maybe 7, 8 years ago, around the time of GT Gold, a previous operator went across the valley. So they went down to the bottom of the valley, and they found Williams. Outcropping, bornite, potassic alteration, great grades. We've expanded upon what they've done there, but what really caught our eye was this large anomaly across the valley and the idea that there must be a porphyry hiding under here. Lots of Golden Triangle knowledge between us all. It just gave us the high degree of confidence there would be one. And on our last hole of the drill program this year, we discovered a new one right around where it says Hank Copper Gold Porphyry. But really, to get an idea of the scale of this, you need to go up above it in a helicopter and look down on the scale here. So this is really unusual, seeing a lithocap in BC. They're generally eroded by glaciers. A lithocap is just the top of a porphyry epithermal system. So deeper, you would presumably have a porphyry, bulk tonnage, copper gold. Higher up, you would have the higher grade gold silver veins, or the disseminated gold even higher up. We have all of that here, and a process of telescoping has compressed everything. So you could actually have epithermal gold lateral to a porphyry. We're still working that out, but the key here is it's intact, which is unusual to get all of this in one location. It's also unusual to have this 10 kilometers from the highway and a power line. So with that in mind, let's look at what we actually found. So yesterday, we announced the second ever blind porphyry discovery in the Golden Triangle. I said earlier, the first one was GT Gold. So we drilled 425 meters of 0.4 copper equivalent. That alone is not an incredible result if you just look at the headline. But the significance of that is based on the alteration, the fact that we didn't even hit the intrusion yet. It indicates we're onto not only a massive system, but a very fertile system, because the grade is you'd expect the grade to increase substantially. To put things in perspective, I'd urge you to go on Google and search GT Gold Saddle Porphyry 2017. So in December 2017, they announced their first hole into Saddle. And not everybody in the market caught on, but smart analysts did. And that hole was, I believe, 250 meters of 0.32 copper equivalent. So we've actually bested their hole. And it's a little deeper, but it's the first hole. We expect it to come closer to surface, and you do have excellent grades in gold directly above it. So this is the beginning of a discovery, and it's just one small part of our project. And this, in particular, is one small part of a district that you can actually see from the highway. So we're going to wrap this up here, but the key is, you can have a discovery, but you need to have the right structure to actually make money off it as an investor. And fortunately, we actually have a pretty tight structure for a company that has only done early stage exploration and been around for a little while now in a bear market. Our cap structure is a little different. We've had a very good week. I think we traded about 14 million shares or so, and we're at 65 cents now. So it's a little different than the last time I updated this. But I will note, we've had very strong institutional support over the last few years, which has enabled us to do this. And I can tell you it's increased substantially in the last couple of days. So with that in mind, the opportunity here is, I believe, still an incredibly undervalued company. I think without what we did last summer, we should be worth a lot more than what we are right now. Incredible land position, incredibly good technical team that's highly motivated and really just wants to make a bunch of discoveries. We're onto one now. Our risk profile has gone down substantially from last year. And if Hank doesn't pan out, we've got dozens of other targets to test in this current bull market. We will have core at the Roundup Core Shack Monday and Tuesday from the new discovery. So if you're around, come check it out. Thank you.